Welcome, everybody. We are back. It's Tuesday, June 14th, 8:38 p.m. Thank you so much. We're back live. This is Loud and Proud Orlando. My name is Luis Carlos Pineda. I'm here with David Valentin and also with Paola. We're here, on a Tuesday night. Usually we're Mondays at 8:30. Yesterday, I had other commitments I had to attend. Unfortunately, the Peruvian national team with Pedro Galese had a intercontinental playoff to play against Australia. We'll talk about that in just a moment too. Unfortunately, Peru did not qualify to Qatar 2022. Pedro Galese will be flying back to Orlando fairly soon. Unfortunately for Pedro, fortunately for Orlando City, because he's going to be coming sooner than expected. And so he will be joining hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So before we start, I want to reiterate thank you so much to everybody for their support. I know a lot of OC outlets have been very, not a lot of footage, not a lot of things to put on Twitter, not a lot of things to like on Instagram. But thank you for everybody that is joining us live, watching us live, retweeting our stuff, liking our stuff on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter as LPO_podcast. We're also live on Facebook, and we're also live on YouTube. Click on the notification bell for all notifications if you're listening to these, and also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, Dave, we have an interesting couple of days coming up. Tomorrow, Orlando plays against the Revs, and then on the weekend, I should be going to Explorer Stadium, and we're playing against Houston Dynamo. What are your thoughts, and how you doing, my friend?
Well, I'm doing great. A little sore throat lately. So for those that hate when I talk, well, today you are going to have a great episode. But no, like everybody else, super surprised, Luis and Paola. The we go on quote unquote a break, and all sorts of news start breaking out. Some things happening with Orlando Pride that I believe affect the organization as a whole. And we're gonna talk about those topics. But as Luis already mentioned, we have a game against New England Revolution in Boston this Wednesday, tomorrow. If you are watching this live, and Saturday we're at home against Houston Dynamo. To me, it's a big day. There's several friends coming from England to watch the game. Some people I have not seen in a while. Two of my friends are joining me at the game for the first MLS experience. So obviously, a win will be awesome. And that's it. There's a lot to talk about. MLS finally has a deal with Apple Plus. We'd like to touch about that, talk about that, and some situations are happening with the club. Some people are happy, some people are not. So with that said, I will pass the microphone to Paola.
Hi guys, it's finally good to be back. Tomorrow we're finally going to see soccer. Well, I have seen, international soccer, but Orlando. Um I'm glad that we're finally seeing the boys back. They will deserve this break. Let's see bringing those 3 points at Boston. We need to take advantage of those 3 points away and also at home on Saturday. So I'm looking forward on tomorrow's game because it's a Wednesday, even though that we work. Uh, I cannot sleep tonight. I'm just kidding. But it's good to be back. I miss you guys, believe it or not. Um and even though that I talked to David last week about the situations about these upcoming games, I miss talking to us you two, Luis. So good to be back.
Well, exciting indeed. We're going to start with the first topic. We're coming. There's two back-to-back games, essentially one tomorrow, one on the weekend. 6 points on the back, guys. 6 points. Are we? I mean, we've had a lot of rest, right? A lot of rest. to heal the wounds. Good news is that Antonio Carlos is practicing. So I want to give kudos to my pal Alonso Contreras that he's that he released that baby first. All right, but yeah, he's been practicing now. He's closer to return. Those are good news, right? Pedro Galese will be with us the rest of the season for sure. Those are good news. So little by little, Orlando's taking their original form, right? And they're well rested. What are your expectations for this game, David? Coming up with the Revs.
Well, it has to be a win for sure. New England comes on short rest. They played this last Sunday away at Kansas City, victory 2-1, and a victory in which it was the most bizarre thing. It's like the end of the game. Um, New England shoots the ball to goal on one of those shots. You think, oh, it's just gonna go over. It's gonna be a goal kick, end of the game, and somehow the ball dips into frame. The goalkeeper stops it, bounces oddly, and finds a New England player, and boom, they win it. If I am a Sporting Kansas City fan, I'll be ripping my clothes off and throwing ashes on top of my head like before leaving the stadium. Losing like that has to be something. So these guys come in with short rest. The short rest. They're at home. Is that an advantage for us? We don't know. We had all this time resting, but if you guys remember when we played Dallas, we were super banged up. Our guys were super exhausted. So it's a balance. We don't know what's gonna happen. We have to win. I'm gonna tell you why we have to win. They are at the bottom of the table, and if you want to be a championship team, you get results with the teams that are above you, and you demolish the teams that are below you. That's how it works, right? If we are going to be giving out points, giving out false hope to teams that we know that are not gonna win MLS, no, Cincinnati, Charlotte, they're not gonna win MLS Cup. We know this. So why give them points and make them dream when all that's gonna happen is they're gonna fail? So what we need to do is we need to go and win this game. This is what our history with New England. 6 victories for New England. 6 draws, most of them decisions by the referee that have stolen points away from us. Famously, the game that cost us the 1 point that we needed to make playoffs in 2016 with the phantom Servando Carrasco handball. Every time, if you want to go to YouTube and see how the ball basically hits this man's badge, and the referee calls it a handball, obscene. League One knows that if we ever meet face to face, I just gonna punch him in the mouth because he knows he did that on purpose. And 2 wins by Orlando. So not a good competitive record against them. These people had Adam Buxa, Carlos Hill, Sebastian Leggett.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that is having a hard time, and we have to go get those points, my friends. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, we got to win at home. That's great. Listen, I am showing up with all my family and with 7 billion other people that are joining me for the game. And of course I want to win, but the fan in me wants to win both of them. But if I had to pick, we have to win the New England game because it's an Eastern Conference football.
Sure. And Paola, what are your expectations for this game coming up? I mean, New England Revolution has always given us trouble through history. Since we started in the league, it's always been a tough team to beat. They have very good dynamic players. They have a good coach. Obviously, they're going through a losing slump. But what are your thoughts regarding this game? What are your expectations?
We have to win this game. They have lost key players, and we have to take advantage of that. And we have to take advantage of we have rest, and they just played with Kansas City, even though that they won. But we have to take advantage. There's no excuse of not winning this game. So we have momentum of getting the rest that we needed to. Um, in the couple of 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost. So we have to win this game, yes or yes. There's no excuse. And the key players that they had, they're gone, and they're in the losing streak technically. So we have to take advantage of that. They're not in a good place right now. Even though that they didn't change a lot of people from last year. I don't know what's happening. Every time that I seen that they're losing, I'm like, what is happening here? I was surprised that they lost versus Kansas, but then I saw the record of Kansas City. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. So but we have to win tomorrow's game. So let's see what the boys bring tomorrow. I know they're gonna win, and I know that they have that how you may say it, the that little revenge from that playoff
Right,
game.
right.
That
Then,
that
yeah, they have a thirst for revenge.
exactly. So
Right. Right. So before I give my piece on this game, I want to read some comments. Matthew says, when Antonio Carlos is back, I'm gonna. That's a good question. I'm personally gonna jump for sure to the ceiling. I've missed, I think, every single Orlando City fan or journalist or anybody that just has a lot of love for this club has missed Antonio Carlos. So, no doubt about that. Joshua Tall, let's win both games this week. Joshua Tall, I feel bad for Galese. That's right. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I will give you the real how a real Peruvian feels about what happened. I mean, 33 million Peruvians, just to cut it short, are mourning still. Nobody wants to come out on my other outlet. No one's, I'm coming out by myself on the TV screen. uh, it's tough. Joshua Tall, can't wait for the game tomorrow. It says here, are we going to talk about? Are you guys going to talk about the Apple TV deal? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. I mean, to give my piece in this game is very easy. I'm just going to say this. I know it's going to be probably controversial, but I mean, hopefully not. You take away Carles Gil out of that equation, you shut him down, their whole system falls apart. That's really it. You double team Carles Gil. He's a dynamic player, a change of pace player, one of the best midfielders in the league right now. You take him out, or you make sure that you shut him down completely, and you can most likely, I can definitely say, their whole mid will suffer to create attacking plays. Because one thing is, Gustavo Bo is not the type of number 9 that it will create its own play, like maybe you know Pato, for example, that he could play the wing and he could play the 9. He's a straight 9. He's a straight shooter, right there, tall, big, very physical. But he's not the type of player that is going to get himself associated with the wings. So they lost Tajan Buchanan, one of the best players in the league, in my opinion. And I think losing Tajan Buchanan, neither McNamara or Dylan Borrero have stepped on those shoes right. But you take away their king, which is Carles Gil, and the team will fall. Now, New England's defense has been subpar this season so far. So, I mean, I think Orlando City has the superior 4 out back. Now having Antonio Carlos back further on, is going to make us much stronger, in my opinion. But what we have now, I think we have a good back 4 out there. So to me, and this is just you start. Matt Turner is no longer there too, so the keeper more than likely will be Earl Edwards, I think it is, Junior, which he used to be part of Orlando City at some point. So or Petrovic, either one of them is going to be the starter. Carles Gil, you take him out, more than likely. More than likely you take him out and their whole mid falls apart. And Orlando, what does they have to do? They have to honestly attack through the flanks. That's their strength. You have Facundo Torres on one side, you have Ruan on another side. You could also have Junior Urso playing the right flank. I mean, I cannot say it enough. This is a huge game for Facundo Torres. This is the type of game he wants to play, because this team, in my opinion, their Achilles heel is you guard Carles Hill, the team falls apart, their mid falls apart, they turn over the ball, and then they're very flimsy on the wings. So that's the game that Orlando has the players to play their football on the flanks. We have fast, dynamic players on the flanks. So let's go ahead and get that and make that happen. You have Torres, Pato, you have even Pereira could play the right flank. You have Urso, you have Ruan. So I think we can make it happen. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Really nothing much to add to that, Luis. You said it all. I have to say, as an American, I'm super happy, proud of the American exports, Buchanan, and Buchanan's Canadian, right?
Right, Canadian.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, young kid,
Yeah,
nonetheless,
yeah.
North American player, going to do big things. Matt Turner, obviously a rival, but nice fella. Came from nothing to become what it is now, and that to me is fantastic. He was always a great competitor, always nice to the fans, even though for 90 minutes we were screaming things at him. He never took it personal, and I wish him nothing but the best. As far as the landlord, Earl Edwards Jr., I get mad that once again we have to see former Lions prosper somewhere else because we fumbled the bag here. Um, a superb individual, somebody that came to this club in 2015, was with us for 5 years. Um, Great competitor, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I believe he will be the number one for New England coming 2023. But that said, so business 7:30 this Wednesday, tomorrow. We have to win. And
Yeah,
if
certainly.
you guys look at the Gillette Stadium, it's a hard surface up into the elements. Is a very wide and long pitch. It gives itself for teams that like to run, that like to cross the pitch, to switch directions, and it's gonna be a counter attack type of bonanza. If I will say, if you guys doubt that, go back to every game that we've had there, and you will see it's tick for tat. It's just hit, 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 because that's the type of surface that gives itself to play. Um, as far as Facundo Torres, I think it's going to be a great challenge for him because the size of Gillette is the same size as Campeón del Siglo, which is the stadium of Peñarol back in Uruguay. So you never know when it's like putting an old shoe, right? It just fits in perfectly. So
Fits in perfectly, huh?
yeah, so we may see an explosion of production from him. And also, I have to share something with you. The guy wants to impress. The guy wants to impress. The guy feels the weight on the shoulders, and we have talked about this before, Luis, where the new guys, and I know this from a good source. I know, as you guys know, I don't throw names out. The new guys are uneasy because they come from cultures where the team loses, they throw trash at you, they knife your tires and all that. Here, regardless of the result, the fans are generous. They ask for pictures. Hey, don't worry about it. We'll get him next time. Blah blah blah. So it's hard for them to gauge. Excuse me. It's hard for them to gauge. Hey, am I doing a good job or not? So I told the source. Again, excuse me. I told you guys I was under the weather. I told the source, hey, he's doing great. But it's a game that is gonna give itself for that type of match. And before I conclude, last three results with New England: tied 2-2, defeat at New England 2-1, and a defeat at home
Yeah.
3-1. Excuse me.
I am very curious too to see, and I'll be honest with you. I'm very curious to see what's going to be the starting 11 that Orlando is going to send out. We should probably definitely dive into that in just a moment. But I'm also curious to see Leggett and Borrero on either side, because I don't think McNamara will start. I think this is the I think this is going to be Leggett more than likely. Again, another dynamic player, and Leggett is not so much a dribbler. He's more of like a player that could very well be a number nine. It's just he's a little shorter, than no than most people, but he has such a powerful shot from distance. We have to definitely watch out for that as our back four, because he loves to change and the wing. So he could play the left or the right, the left or the right. He likes to move around the middle, right? Carles Hill also likes to maybe move to the wing. So those three interchange positions. That's what I'm trying to say. They interchange positions. So that could throw off, our back line. Now, I want to say that our back line is better than, for sure, than New England's back line. So I feel like Orlando could definitely has a huge chance. But to me, I repeat it again, the player that they need to definitely cancel on this game is Carles Hill. More than Leggett, more than Borrero, more than those three there, more than Bo. I think the backline will be fine with Bo. I think Carles Hill, because I mean that player, I would love to have him in Orlando City if there's ever a chance to have him. I mean he's a great player, and one of the big cornerstones of that supporter shield run of New England was Carles Hill. So I think he's the X factor for sure in that team. So do you want to do the potential 11? You guys want to talk about that? I can definitely set that up right now. That way, drop us a comment, everybody. Leave your comment. What will be your starting 11 for Orlando City coming up into this game? So I will go ahead and start this here. Oh, where is this? USA, MLS. There you go. Okay, so obviously, I mean, I don't know if Galessa will be back. I highly doubt. I think this is going to be Adam Greenwis, right? Adam Greenwis. He'll start. He'll be a goalkeeper, right, Dave? Correct? Right. Okay. And then you have the right back. You can also correct me, Paula, if you think we should put somebody else. The back four will be Ruan, Schlegel, Jansen. Do we have anybody with yellow cards that are going to miss the game, or we're all clear?
We're clear.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good, right? And then left wing, left back, I think it's going to be Joao Moutinho for sure. I mean, I don't think Pareja changing the back four against the Revs. Now, I'll be surprised if we see Kyle Smith, but I mean, there's no Tajon Buchanan anymore. So I think Moutinho, in my opinion, we need to score. When Moutinho, I like the fact that he's improved his game this year tremendously, doing the back and forth on the left wing, trying to be influential on the attacking play when Orlando attacks as a unit going forward in transition attack. Your sixes, in my opinion, will be Urso, for sure. Araujo. And if you guys would like to say something, anybody in the comments, drop us a comment. What are you starting 11? Here, Pereira. Up top, Urgent Cara. That would be me. Here would be. I mean, this is the doozy, right? I mean, who would you put here? I mean, you put I mean, you have options, right? I mean, you have
We'll put Jake.
Moreni. I mean, he's been doing good so far, in my opinion. And then here, Facundo Torres, right? Now,
Hmm.
Facundo Torres is with his. He's not with his national team, right?
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's not with
No,
his.
I saw him with
Yeah, he was in.
Schlegel down in Miami.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, in my opinion, I think let's give Mulroney a shot. I like the way he's been playing lately. I think it will be good to see him. He has good speed, good dribbling, going towards the middle too. He has good crossing power. I think it will be a good opportunity. Now, with this system, this is designed to feed Urgent Kara. Like they need to feed him. Like Torres and Moreni, like they need to constantly try to attempt to win the 1v1 against New England's back line, go into the box, cross, find Kara, goal. Like that's, in my opinion, what they should do. I think the refs have. It's not been the best year for the refs defense for Andrew Farrell and Omar Gonzalez, especially the two center backs. So I think Kara has an opportunity to score in this game, right? And I think that's been what's been lacking for Orlando City, right? The finishing up the play. What are your thoughts there, Dave? Would you make any changes to this starting 11?
I'm gonna go ahead and defer to Paola since she didn't get a turn the last time.
Go ahead.
I'm I can say like with Mulroney, I don't know if he's gonna start or Pato, but I would like to see Mulroney start to see his adapting because I like what I saw in the last game and he's adapting still. So let's see. And but I like Torres in with Montinho though connection in that area. So um so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they could switch. They could
They can
switch.
switch.
Yeah,
Like
they could switch too. I
Torres,
mean,
he runs all over the place.
right,
Like
right, right.
I can give him kudos for that. That's why I love him. Like he runs all over the place, and I'm looking forward to see him tomorrow because he rests his legs, so not a lot of mileage for tomorrow. So let's see what he's capable of.
That's how the Miami overtime goal happened. He wasn't supposed to be there. So, I hope that El Profe Pareja gives them more freedom. Sometimes you got to be creative. And to be quite honest with you, how we stuck to the plan, and for those that are listening, I'm making air quotes, we would have lost that game. So
Hmm.
sometimes you got to let players do what he feels right.
Yeah, certainly. I don't know. I don't think. I will read some comments here. Victor Sanchez is Galese back for tomorrow's game. No, I don't think so. I mean, and I'll be honest with you. Mentally, he's not prepared. I'll be honest with you. I mean, what happened on the weekend? What happened yesterday was devastating for 33 million Peruvians. This is not a like. I'm not trying to like. I'm telling you the truth. Like how they feel. Um, it's people are mourning there. I have another outlet called Ladra el Fútbol. It's just like Ladra Proud, but in Spanish, and we cover the Peruvian league and Peruvian teams and all that. No one wants to come on live because everyone's like don't want to talk about football. They don't want to talk about soccer. They're not in the right state of mind because Peru right now is going through a lot of issues with political stuff, like the country itself, with corruption and inflation and things like that. I don't want to dive into that, but because this is a sports show, it's not no, it's not a politics show. But the only thing people over there had to look forward to this year was the World Cup. You take that away, like people don't know what to do. Like even my colleagues, like what am I going to talk about in my show? Like I don't know. Like am I going to talk about Argentina now? Am I going to talk about Ecuador? I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about Brazil. Like, so it's been a tough blow for a lot of Peruvians, and I wouldn't believe how Pedro is feeling right now, right? So I don't really believe, and I don't think he will be up to, even if he's back tomorrow, he's probably going to be watching at his house with his family, and he's not mentally there. I'll be honest with you. Joshua Tall, I think it's possible we can win tomorrow. I believe so too. What do you guys think? I think so too, right?
Hey, Luis,
Is
I
it?
wanted to add something real
Yeah,
quick.
sure.
Paula maybe doesn't remember this, but I'm old enough to be her dad. So when I was a kid in elementary school and Puerto Rico won anything on any tournament, I don't care if it's, I don't know, cornhole, whatever it was. If we won, the governor will declare like a holiday and be like, we didn't have to go to school. The players will come at the airport. There will be a parade and all this type of stuff. So I know that feeling. I know what that means. I remember this might sound super shallow and stupid. And again I apologize. In 1989, the and I have mentioned this before. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. It has national teams. That's how the International Olympic Committee allows it, and FIBA, FIFA, all these other organizations. So anyhow, in 1989, excuse me, in basketball, Puerto Rico defeated the United States for the first time in the Pan American Games, and that was 3 days of parties because for the first time we were beating the Big Brother, which every time Puerto Rico faced the United States, I don't care what sport it was, we always lost by big margins. So that's what it means for sports in Latin America. It's like the country lives and dies by the result. While most of us probably will say, tough break, Galese, he's all right, Pedro. We love you. We care for you. We care about you. And when that man walks out of that tunnel Saturday, he was gonna be showered with love. The fact is that the greatest honor a player can have is to represent their country. I never had that opportunity as an athlete. I was in the military, so I know what it is to represent your country, to wear the colors of your country, I guess, and feel that admiration, that affection from strangers. So nothing. I think Pedro needs to go home. He needs to recharge his batteries, and he needs to come back when he feels that he's ready for it. And us as fans need to respect that because the cruelty of penalties is horrendous, and we just have to give him time to process that. In his eyes, he let his country down. That's how he sees it. Even if we disagree with that view, mentally he feels that he couldn't deliver the hopes and dreams that his countrymen wanted for him.
Oh, sure. It's tough for a lot of Peruvians. We'll dive into Pedro more because there's a lot of rumors going around about not only him, his status in the club, and also we're going to talk about Pato as well. But let's dive into the next topic, which is the Houston Dynamo, right? With their big signing, right? Hector Herrera from the Mexican national team. Um, Designated player for sure. Now, Hector Herrera will not be making an appearance against Orlando. I want to say this. He will start July 1st, as well as Insigne, that's coming from Napoli for Toronto, the Italian superstar. He won't start in Toronto until July 1st as well. So two new designated players joined the league, one for Houston, one from Toronto. So Hector Herrera comes in. We're playing the Houston Dynamo. Dave, what are your thoughts regarding this game coming up against the Dynamo? I mean, they just got beaten 3-0 against Real Salt Lake. What are your thoughts? What does Orlando need to do in this game?
Our history is not the best with Houston. Our record against them is 1 victory, 2 draws, and 2 defeats. The 1 victory was in 2015. I want to laugh when God bless you, Pedro, wherever you are, where we basically forced an own goal, and Pedro's last name right now escapes my mind. Anyhow, uh, our striker goes pushes forward.
Oh, Rivero.
Pedro Ribeiro, thank you.
Rivero. There you go.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper tries to stop him, uh, punches the ball, trying to get it away, and all he does is pushes the ball and Pedro inside the goal, and that was our first win in MLS. An own goal in such a. The only thing that is missing of that clip is that Benny Hill music is ridiculous. But after that, these guys have given us beatings. Last three encounters with these guys: 2-1 victory to Houston, a 0-0 result, and a beatdown, 4-0. So the fact of the matter is that they are a decent team, but not a world beater. Now that we are looking at that's how they line up the last game, right? I have to tell you, the defensively, their best asset is my cousin Sarek Valentin, who is with the national team at the moment. Therefore, that's why he wasn't there. He's a dangerous guy, especially on set pieces, and he's the type of guy that's always looking for that rebound. Defensive players that also are crafty, trying to score, make me nervous because those are the type of guys that are always overdue for a goal here and there that may be the difference. Um, I believe that they may come in with the hopes that, hey, we played on Wednesday. They just like we are saying about New England, they are in short rest. Can we get them? Like I was telling you, I lost to Houston. I'm not gonna cry over it because in the big scheme of things, we still have to look at Open Cup on the 29th. We also have to look at our positioning in the East. If I have to choose between losing against an Eastern foe or a Western foe, I will lose to the Western foe any day of the week. But it's gonna be a matchup. You gotta win the souls because we can't continue going on the road, having these great performances, then coming home for the league, laying eggs, and
Yeah.
then we go to Open Cup and we're making the top 10, top 5 of ESPN. You know what I'm saying? We can't continue to do that because we have to sell tickets. We gotta get people a show that they want to come and consume. So to me, that's a review of that. Paola, if you have anything to add.
No, we have to win at home because we haven't win uh the latest game. So we have to take advantage that Herrera is not still with the team. We have to take advantage of that, even though that I don't know if he's gonna adapt as soon as possible, but we have to take advantage. And we don't have the most beautiful history with them as neither, but we have to put our pants on and win at home. So that's the only thing that I want to share. And I think that the team knows that they need to start winning, and Oscar knows it. So
I totally agree. I think this game is going to be, very important for Orlando. I mean, to me, I'm with Dave on this. I believe Orlando needs to put all the bullets in the U.S. Open Cup, into the Eastern Conference games for sure. Either way, I think if Orlando wins these two back-to-back games, mentally they will be prepared to for what's coming against Nashville. And you want to have a team that mentally is right up here, playing against a foe like Nashville that has always given us trouble. I mean, it's probably one of the most troublesome rivals we've ever had in our history, Nashville, right? And they're a brand new team, but I mean, they have a very dynamic team. With this Houston, of course, Orlando. I think man to man, I think it's the better squad. The only thing that affects Orlando City not to get the result is here, right? Turning over the ball, losing the possession game in the mid. We've seen this happening. We've seen this happening at home. So let's honestly give the fans what they're looking for, which is a win, and a back-to-back win, I think it's going to fill up more seats because if Orlando City wants to definitely pack it against Nashville, which I think we should against the U.S. Open Cup because we're in the final stages. Only 2 more games if we win against Nashville. This is the game that Orlando needs to definitely win as well. Now, what are the keys to me to win? I don't believe neither the two, Baird and Avila, are they're not defensive players. Our wingers run back to get the ball. Like you have Junior Urso. I think this is the game for Junior Urso to play on the right wing, in my opinion. Right? Have Araujo there as a 6, maybe with either Joey or maybe Andres right there. And this will be the game to have Urso there because Avila is known for being very fast on the wing, but losing the ball in transition. And who's going to be there to recoup that ball? Junior Urso. And when he gets the ball in transition, he passes it into the mid to Pereira, and that's when they start associating their game. Let's do that because they lose the ball constantly especially on the left flank. That's my little analysis for Houston, but I do believe that both teams that we're going to face, the one tomorrow, which obviously they have more star power than this one, and Houston, they're going to be tough opponents, but I think from the two, the Revs to me are the better team than Houston Dynamo.
And Luis, if I can interject for a minute,
Sure.
because this podcast is about learning new things, so I'm about to teach you guys something. In Judaism, we have a concept of faith, that things can happen. We call that emunah. And our belief is that when you're born, you have little faith because you're a little person, right? And your problems are little. And as you grow, your faith grows and your problems grow with them. And faith without works is useless. You can't say, I have faith that I'm going to be a millionaire. But if you don't do things to become a millionaire, then it's worthless. What Orlando City needs to do is they need to start winning games. Like Paola said, we need to start winning games. We need to start proving people that when they pay the hard-earned money, they're going to get a show. And we're going to win most of the games. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. But at the same time, the fans need to show works. What that means. We need to start showing up to the games. We can't wait until they start winning to show up. And that, unfortunately, we have been very reactive. We won against Miami, packed house, quote unquote, for the game against Dallas. And then people were angry that they lost. Oh, well, I showed up, but they lost. But I saw the game on Wednesday and they won. I don't get it. My friends, if you show up to all the games, guess what? You're going to see them win. And when they lose, okay, no big deal. And I finished with this. I was watching the reactions from the fans from our friends at OC Fan TV. And I was surprised and shocked at the fact that a lot of the fans were cool and collected. They wasn't cursing or screaming or anything. A lot of the fans were like, well, we played 72 hours, 3 games, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. We lost. But, 120 minutes on Wednesdays, total order to ask for the guys to win. So I am actually impressed that our fan base is moving away from this incredible reactionary, press the red button, nuclear button, and we are starting to understand football. And this is something that our friend Daniel on Twitter, Englishman that also follows Orlando City, that has said before, he's like, the difference between the American fan and the overseas fan, English in this case, is that we see the big picture. Here, we lose a game, burn the whole place down. And we're starting to see culture and the football IQ growing. So I wanna commend our fans for that. So if with that we can, I guess, go to the comments. I see some great comments there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and dive into the comments. To everybody that's watching, thank you so much. Victor Sanchez, it says, soon FIFA will select the host cities for the World Cup 2026. Only 4 cities have promised safe and accessible tools for workers. Do you think Orlando's got a chance? I mean, I honestly wish I mean, if Orlando gets a bid, the city goes. I mean, Orlando will go up. I mean, they'll be the most profitable city in the whole state. I mean, I don't want to knock down any other state, but they'll be Orlando will be the one of the mecca of soccer in Florida for sure. There's no other soccer city in Florida than Orlando. Number one. Number two is going to drive in people from Tallahassee, from everywhere in Florida to hub in Orlando. Orlando will be packed. I recommend you to get an electric scooter, or I recommend you to links to get their service to be a little bit better, because driving is going to be tough. I already have a list right here in my iPad. I have a list of people already saying, Luis, I'm coming from Peru. Hey, because 6 in CONMEBOL go through for the next World Cup, plus international playoffs. So 7 teams from CONMEBOL will make it to the World Cup possibly. Come on, can I stay in your house? Can I stay in your house? I mean, people from all over are going to be here. So
and the high-speed rail going from Orlando to Tampa and Orlando to Miami will be completed by 2026. So no excuse, my friend.
There's no excuse. I mean, there's no excuse. So let's definitely. I'm definitely taking. I mean, if it's in Miami, I'm taking my backpack. I'm going to the speed rail. I'm going. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm missing that for sure. But I mean, if it's Orlando, this is the reason why we need to pack the house every game, Pride or City. I mean, we want to be a host city. In my opinion, I believe we are a soccer city, for sure. Now, let's deliver that. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, but you cannot tell the fans what to think." I'm not saying what to tell you or what to do. What I'm saying is, I mean, that's the example of every other league that we've seen or watched before, that have a huge soccer culture. People come support. I mean, they support the team not because of results. They support the team because of what they stand for. Like, for example, this team right here, Alianza Lima, that's my team from Peru. Now, they have the worst record in Copa Libertadores history. Am I going to switch clubs because they keep losing internationally and they're making an ass out of themselves? No. I proudly sport their sticker because I love my team. It's my team. They stand for something. So we need to bring that to Orlando. Let's not be fans of the result. Let's be fans of what Orlando stands for as a city, as a culture. What do you represent? So once we figure that out, I think our Explorer Stadium will be small for the amount of people that are going to come watch every Orlando City game. But I think winning the U.S. Open Cup will be vital, because that's going to add more value to what the ticket represents, right? It's not just going to be a hit or miss. It's going to be, Orlando's a winning team, right? They won a championship on this year. We have all these cups from USL. Now we're translating that into MLS. I think we should definitely put our bullets to the U.S. Open Cup, right, Dave?
No, absolutely, absolutely. And with this, I'll give the microphone to Paola because, oddly enough, Luis, we talked about this in Tiro de Esquina, where we wanted to. I mentioned the two teams that I follow overseas, and every time I start, then I have to cough. Meanwhile, nothing. And in the culture of supporting the club simply because it represents the city where you live. And I mentioned that. I said I am in Orlando by choice. I wasn't born here. My kids were born here. I married my wife here. Loved ones are buried on this soil. And if God gives me the privilege, when they put me in the hole, they're gonna be throwing sand on top of my coffin. So the fact is that we have to create this idea, and we see all these babies going to the stadium. Let's fast forward 10, 15 years into the future, when with the kids that were in USL now are adults with kids of their own, when the babies that we've been seeing on Exploria, excuse me, now are teenagers and young adults. That's when we're going to start gauging if the dreams of our founders actually have come true. And again, my friends, you don't follow a club for names, for trophies, for wins. You do so because you have found your place, a place where you belong. I certainly have. This Orlando City has introduced me to fans that I call friends in two countries overseas, throughout the United States, throughout this city, throughout this state. I met Paola because of Orlando City. I met Luis because of Orlando City. Many of you I have met because of Orlando City. That's how we have to view it. It's the collective. That every Orlando City fan loves me, we know that's not true. And a lot of these people will love to see me banned for life because they just don't like me as a person, and that's fine. But I have always told those people, you maybe find me despicable, but I love the same club that you do. And if we are to win a trophy, you better believe it. I'm gonna hug you. It's how it is. So at the end of the day, friends, we just have to show the affection and the love. We hosted in 1994 when there was no team here, when there was no league. That was almost 30 years ago. I really would love to see an Orlando City that has a club, that has a history, supporting the World Cup in a selfish way. Also, the $30 billion injected into our local economy will be fantastic. So let's start supporting our club. Let's have faith. Let's have emunah. All right, let's grow
Let's.
it.
This is
Paula.
here facts. This is Joshua Tall says facts. Joshua Tall. That would be amazing if we won the U.S. Open Cup, and I really hope we beat Nashville. It says totally understand. It was just a question. Totally agree with you. Are you guys talking? Are you guys going to be talking about the Apple TV major soccer deal? Okay, let's start diving into that because people want to talk about the Apple, and MLS partnership, right? Um, Personally, this is gonna benefit. I mean, personally, I don't have cable, right? So for starters, I stream all my stuff. I stream all my stuff. I don't have cable. I have ESPN Plus. Obviously, I have Paramount because I have to watch the NWSL. I have, I watch some games on Twitch too at some point. I stream, so to me, honestly, it's simple to join Apple Plus. Now, there's a lot of good series there, and if you're a season pass holder, you're gonna be benefited because you don't have to pay for Apple Plus. You apparently the deal is you're a season pass holder from any Major League Soccer team, you will have Apple Plus for free. So I don't see what the uproar is about it. Now, yes, it's not in a major network like ESPN for sure. Now, well, there are rumors that bigger markets might be on ESPN still, and smaller markets may go to Apple Plus. I don't know. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true. I highly doubt. I think they're buying the whole league in a bundle. But what are your thoughts, Paola, about this deal?
I'm with you, Luis. I don't have cable. I have YouTube TV, and the other day I found out that I have now Fox 35 that I can stream now the Orlando City games, and when is away and when I'm traveling, I when I put ESPN Plus, sometimes it's blocked and I get mad. I get frustrated. I have to go and search for it. So this is will be super beneficial. When I'm traveling, I'm back home in Puerto Rico, I can see the games. um Also, I've been hearing that Apple is buying other sports too. It's not also only MLS. So this is big for MLS as a whole. And for us, the season ticket members, we're taking advantage of free Apple TV. I don't see anything bad on it. Free Ted Lasso for everybody. So let's take advantage of it. um I don't know about you, David, but I see the super beneficial. Probably Apple has other visions in the future, and this is just the beginning. So,
It's free. It's free TV. Let me tell you something. I take anything free. Okay. When I go to Costco and they have the all the free crap, I take everything. And I sorry, but I thought you said you don't eat pork. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's free. I'm taking it anyways. I'll donate it to somebody. So that's it. It's free. I think it's a incredible gesture for an Orlando City fan, where we haven't seen the benefit of being a season ticket holder. That's a story for another day. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. It's great. It's great to feel like, oh wow, paying ahead of time for a seat brings brings an incredible benefit. Um, to be honest with you, when I heard the news, I was sort of upset because I feel that going to the streams sort of takes the sport away from the channels at large. But the reality is that people don't consume cable. I do have cable. I don't watch any of it. I'm a YouTube person, Netflix, um, and I have a smart TV, so I watch a crap lot of YouTube and of whatever. I follow the most ridiculous things. I watch a channel of a guy raising chickens and a guy that has a goat farm. I mean, the reality is that the TV is just trash. That cable TV is trash. The only reason why I was keeping it around was because my wife likes to watch the news in the morning, and obviously Orlando City and the national team. Other than that, I am paying for absolutely nothing. So I think this is great news for everyone.
Yeah, look, let's dive into this. Look, every match, no blackouts. I love how Apple makes everything so simple and minimalistic. I want to say, for our design, I love that. Is a historic first for sports, a 10-year deal beginning in 2023. You get every MLS and Leagues Cup match. You get also MLS Next Pro, so the second division. You get MLS Next, so for everybody that is on the under 13s, under 15s, right there. You also, one place for everything, no need for additional TV pay bundle. Fans can get every live MLS match by subscribing to an MLS streaming service available exclusively through Apple TV app. Season. This is the cool thing. Season ticket holder benefit. Access to new MLS streaming service will be included as part of MLS full season ticket packages. This excludes Leagues Cup and Campeones Cup for viewers in Mexico. So sorry, Mexico. This is only U.S. So, and then it tells you, it's every club. It tells you, what consoles. Everywhere it's gonna be everywhere. On your Chromecast, on your Apple, on your Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Samsung, all your Apple devices, and the matches, the announcers, they're gonna have English and Spanish. So it's gonna be, you're gonna have an ability to switch languages. And also Canadian teams, there'll be a French commentary available. So there you go. I think it's a good deal in my opinion. I mean, personally, I have nothing against Apple. I don't know if it's, I heard that people are complaining about it, especially because they say that ESPN is more reputable, and they were looking for that I guess going to Apple, it's restricting the league. It's
ESPN has done nothing for the league. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
honestly I honestly don't know. I mean, I think it's just switching to a different app. You're just gonna have to get the new app, and then you're set. I don't know what.
Luis, last year, ESPN was hosting 6 games on Saturday for MLS, and the official account told everyone, "Hey, since the EPL is it's done for the season, how will you guys put up with no football in the summer? You morons! How about using that opportunity to tell people, hey, if you are a Euro snub and you would love to support a team near your house, we have 6 games in our network showing today." And guess what? If your partner in media is this clueless, this out of contact with your product, they're not helping you. ESPN's and Fox have done nothing, and their on air talent shows how clueless and detached they are about the sport and the league, and it's an embarrassment. So for all those ESPN and Fox apologists, Boo-hoo, so sad. Too bad. And I'm telling you right now, Alexi Lalas and Taylor Twellman, they are relics of an era when those guys were the best the American football could create, and don't belong behind a microphone. They spew nonsense, stupidity. They make people angry at how they pick and choose what teams are supposed to be showcased, and it's offensive and foul to many fans of small markets to hear these idiots do that. So, with that said, perhaps Apple Plus is a fresh start for the league because ESPN and Fox have done very little to propel our product, our league, our baby, our sport in this country.
Yeah, I mean, if Apple is watching, hey, I could do commentary for Orlando City. Like, hey, I'm cheap, guys. And I'm just joking, but honestly, I think it's a great partnership, and also, I will say, like when I travel to Peru and I want to watch ESPN Plus over there, it doesn't allow me for the region. So with Apple, this is going to be much easier because their app works everywhere in the world. So you can take the MLS with you wherever you go, and you can take the shows. And so I think that's the way the world's going. Cable's going away. I guarantee you that movie theaters will disappear in the next 10 or 15 years. And everything's going to be streaming. Everything, the movies, you're going to be able to pick your movie, and that it's out and about, and you can watch it from your house. You can pay for it at your house rather than going to a movie theater. I think that I understand the old fashioned way and how things should be, and blah blah blah, but I mean, it's about evolution and evolving, right? So I think that's the way the world's going. I mean, I haven't had cable in over 10 years. So I mean, and I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm able to report and give you the content for Orlando City and also for Peru. So I'm completely fine. So very exciting about this deal. So let's talk about some rumors, guys. We talked about the Dynamo. We talked about the Revs coming up. We talked about the Apple Plus deal. If people read some comments, let's read some comments before we go. Joshua Tall, interesting. Victor Sanchez, Luis, totally respect your support to Peru. I married my Colombian wife in 2004. She's from Medellin, Colombia. And now I'm an Atlético Nacional fan since 2002. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's a great team, too, to support. They're a great team. I love Medellin. I haven't been to Medellin, but I know that Medellin is the cleanest city in Colombia. So that's part of their slogan as a city. So that's awesome. Joshua Tall, wow. Joshua Tall, that would be amazing if we won the U.S. Open Cup. Really hope we beat Nashville, says Joshua Tall. So thank you so much. So some rumors, right? Let's start with the one that I believe that you know it's not true. So there's a lot of things happening around the league and around Alexandre Pato. People are saying that he's going to be leaving the club. Uh, there's a lot of sources. The first one I'm going to say, there's a rumor. This is a rumor. I'm not stating anything. It says Galatasaray from Turkey. I'm reading in Portuguese here. They are looking to attacker Alexandre Pato from Orlando City. The athlete has a contract with the club of the MLS until the end of this year, and he could do a contract starting July of this year, the 1st of July. So he can essentially negotiate with any club starting July. Now they're saying this is coming from a Brazilian fan-based outlet portal. It's not a journalist. It's not Regio Globo. It's not a Bandeirante. It's not none of the channels from over there. Now there's also again, rumors about Pato going to back to Brazil, right? And this is from, again, Futebol pela Galáxia, Galaxy Soccer, right? It says Pato was offered to Internacional. The attacker is on his way out of Orlando City. No, there you go. Now, um, and I give the mic to Dave. Personally, Orlando needs to. I mean, if Orlando wants to sell high and they're gonna get 2 million for Pato, and this is definitely cash money for a player that they wanna. He wants to go back to his country and wants to play in a big club over there. There also talks about Fluminense, also another big club. They have to have a plan B. I don't see the player. I don't see Orlando being. Um, I don't see Orlando risking and having no options up top, but Kara and Tesho Akindele, and playing a U.S. Open Cup and the end of the MLS season. I honestly don't. Either Orlando has a plan B, right? So you have to take what these outlets say with a very grain of salt, especially if they're fan base outlets. I wouldn't really put my thumb to it. I think we've seen that interview with Pato. He's very happy. He's very happy being here. He thanks Orlando City for how Oscar and the staff and everybody has revitalized his career. He's happy here. Now I could be wrong. I mean, he could be maybe interested in going back to his country for more money or because maybe he misses home. I mean, I don't know what's going on. We can jump in and speculate that he's going to go, but the matter of the fact is, if Orlando is selling, they need to have somebody behind. So they need to have somebody as a backup, because otherwise, I mean, our aspirations this season is going to be a rebuilding team. I mean, what are our aspirations? Because we're going to lose one of our top players if Pato leaves, right? Dave, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say my voice for important topics. This is more smoke than a magic show. So Paola, bail me out here. This is not true. This is not true, my friends.
This is just gossip. Let's say it like that. It's just gossip. I will say what you just said, Luis. He's happy with the club. He said it in a couple of interviews. He said that he has played for Orlando, that he said that he is one of the biggest club for him, and Arsenal. That's that's his opinion. So I don't know where they got this from. It's just gossip and playing with people's mind. Let's see if it's true or not. But like you said, if it's true, hopefully it's not. Let's pray that Orlando has a backup plan. I don't think so. So
There's another rumor that I don't have a picture for, but it's about Fluminense. Right, this is another rumor. This is not true. It's a rumor saying that he's on the radar for Fluminense. Now, Fluminense, they're a club that's buying this season. They're one of the top teams in Brazil too, and they wanted to actually. They have a quite taste and wanted to contact Paulo Guerrero, which is one of the top strikers for the Peruvian national team, and that deal didn't get anywhere. So they're looking for options up top, but that doesn't mean that Pato's going to go there. I mean, it is a rumor indeed. Again, we're here to just say and kind of try to clear up the smoke a little bit, but we'll see what happens. But I believe Pato's happy here, and I don't think we haven't heard anything from official sources, especially myself, from the club or from the player. So the only thing I know is that he's quite happy here, like Paola was saying. And another one that is going around, and this is actually in my backyard because this is coming from Gol Peru, which is a big outlet in Peru. They are saying that Internacional, which is the same team that wants Pato, is trying to get Pedro Galese, right? This is now Pedro Galese's contract also expires, very soon. No, they got, I'm sure, and I want to thank that Orlando is working on that renewal contract. with more zeros on there for one of the top keepers in the MLS. Obviously, not reaching the World Cup changes a lot of the numbers, believe it or not. Um, we'll see. I think a player of the caliber of Galese is not to take. I think they're going to have to pay some money to keep him for sure. He had an offer in January from Saudi Arabia, and now that was a concrete offer, and it didn't get anywhere. He wanted to stay with Orlando, as you guys can see, and this one with Internacional, again, it's this news came out of a website. It's a fan-driven website from Internacional that was mentioning options at keeper for that team, and this is the thing that I say that this is the problem with some of the media in South America, is that they need to sell newspapers, or they need for people to watch their shows. So unfortunately, they get so sidetracked and they put stuff that it may not be true, as true. They even give themselves the to put a pick like this, with him in the MLS all-star game with the Internacional background, right? So take it with a grain of salt. The name of the portal is torcedores.com, which is fans.com. So I mean, that says it all. I'm just saying, right? It's not
Ignore these things just because he has
right.
242,000 followers. Maybe might be a bunch of 11-year-olds for all we know. So just
Right.
again, I reach out to some people about this. They told me, listen, there's absolutely no truth in this, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, my friends. As the window approaches, you probably be surprised if they say that Barcelona is trying to snatch Oscar Pareja away from us. I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Right,
but
and you guys have to also understand that that's normal too. And I'm gonna tell you, if I know it's from a source that I trust, I'm gonna put it out. And I know Alonso Contreras will put it out, and I know a lot of the journalists will put it out. You know why we put it out? It's not because we love to have smoke and be untruthful. No, it's because it's information, and a journalist is here to inform you about what's going on. Now, it could be true, it could not be true, but we're here. The job is to inform. If you don't like information, go make memes somewhere else. Go talk about Mo Bamba or Omar Bamba. I mean, honestly, like we're here to inform. You cannot judge the journalists to put stuff out. Now, if we're definitely saying he is definitely now, that's a different thing. Now it's a major thing because you cannot. Now this is and I again, I'm informing about these rumors, not because I'm saying that they're true. I'm saying they're possibly not true. You know what I mean? They're out there, but they're not true. My job is to inform. So I just want to say that,
no, absolutely.
it's going to get worse when Facundo's contract will be up, when, Junior
Yes,
Lusto's contract will be up.
absolutely.
I mean, guys, if you guys want to be a big club and Orlando City wants to be a big market, get used to that. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Luis, if you could go to Seth Rodriguez's comment, it's at the very early on in the show. Um, yes, if you don't mind reading that because I got some information about that. Thank you.
this is Dave. We got to talk about how good our Puerto Rico has been. I know we ain't going against super good teams, but the chemistry is there and we look great. I think the way we play is so good too.
So Ian Silva from OCB and Wilfredo Rivera, obviously from the first team, were part of this team. And yes, it's the C League in CONCACAF, which is the bottom. Okay, this is at the tiny little islands, but this is how far Puerto Rico football fell under bad administration, corruption. We keep that this word in Latin America continues to be, I don't know, the beginning of pretty much everything. Corruption, people just making bad decisions, And Dave Serhan, who is of LA Galaxy and U.S. National team fame, has rescued this team, has populated this team with MLS and USL players, NCAA players, players from Europe. And I am, as a Puerto Rican, I'm super proud to see how these kids played. The results against the Cayman Islands, which was 3-0, and the British Virgin Islands, which was 6-0, pushes Puerto Rico to promotion to the B League, where he's going to be facing teams like Dominican Republic and Nicaragua and such. So little by little, is moving up to a better positioning, and it has a possibility of snatching one of the Caribbean places for the Gold Cup. So congratulations to Wilfredo, who, in my opinion, and I say without bias, is a great player. I can't wait to see him with the first team with OCB. He has flashes of greatness at the international level. He just has a silky touch, highly skilled. And Ian Silva from OCB, it's another player that has a bright future. Both Lions.
That's
So
awesome.
regardless of your affiliation, obviously, I don't care where our Lions play at the international level. I always support them. And just like we feel sad for what happened to Pedro Galese, we also have to rejoice when some of our guys managed to do great.
That's right. What are your thoughts about Puerto Rico, Paola? You're also there. I mean, I would love to see them live. I've never been able to see the Puerto Rican team for sure, but if they make the Gold Cup, I think it'll be great. Honestly, I'm tired of seeing the same teams. I mean, not pun intended, but the same CONCACAF teams all the time. And they don't really do anything. I would love to see for not only the U.S. to get better, even better, but also for Puerto Rico.
I'm
Why not?
impressed. I'm impressed, and I have shared with David that I don't know why Puerto Rico doesn't have better soccer players. Like we should be like playing soccer since babies, but that's another. We can have another podcast with that topic. But I'm
Well,
super
if I can interrupt you for a second, if the United States had not made playing football illegal
That's
and
true.
subversive to the United States as a law, that's right, people, that your federal government made playing football illegal in Puerto Rico because it was not an American sport, we wouldn't be here talking about that. But I just wanted, I'm sorry, Paula, I had to interrupt you, but
No, you're fine. You're fine.
it's a sore point for me because people ask me this all the time. How come all these other Spanish speaking countries are great at it? How come you guys suck? Guess what? This is what it is. If you were caught playing football between 1899 and 1946, you could have been thrown in jail as a traitor to the nation. Continue.
There you go. There you
Oh
go. Thank
wow.
you, David. But I'm
Damn.
excited to see PR moving forward to the B League. For me is big. Probably for others, that's not that's not as big. But for me, probably David too is big, and we're seeing results. I want to buy a shirt. I don't know where to buy it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would love to buy one too, for sure.
I want a shirt.
The
So
website, anybody that would like one, just reach out to me on social media. I actually have one.
send it to me.
Yes, in fact, I have an unboxing of the home jersey on my blog,
YouTube
The
channel.
Legendary
Blog.
David on YouTube.
Awesome.
There you go.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
excited to see what the future entails for PR. I know that we have a bright future.
That's awesome. So, moving forward with the topics, the last topic of the night, I think that we wanted to touch on Orlando Pride. Uh, Orlando Pride that day, unfortunately, well, June 3rd, they lost 5-0 against the Houston Dash. And then also last Sunday, they lost against the Chicago Red Stars. Unfortunately, a better showing for Orlando Pride for sure. What is the info that you got, Dave, regarding the Pride? You got some info?
This is no secret, obviously. This has been out for a while. Manager Amanda Cromwell and her assistant Sam Green have been suspended by the league and the club from holding their positions. There's an investigation of some violations brought up by one of the players to the Players Association. And right now, the legendary Seb Hines, Headmaster Hines, a gentleman, a footballer who I have a ton of respect and admiration, spoke with him at the Rowdies game, is going to be the caretaker for the time being until the determination is made.
You know,
People, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your
No,
thought.
no, absolutely. People know where I stand with the situation with Orlando Pride, and Paola and I discussed this on Tiro de Esquina, where I said that these ladies, these athletes, uh, are very good at their craft, and this club deserves a packed house of adoring and respectful fans. We can't continue having an Orlando Pride that is a doormat in the league and that plays in an empty stadium. Those are the realities. And with this, I'll give the microphone to Luis because my voice is gonna betray me here in a second.
No, 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 sure.
The the fact is, my friends, is that this comes at a time when we felt that we were moving in the right direction. We finally had a female coach, somebody of respect. Allegations are saying that a lot of the players that we had here immediately asked for to be traded. They didn't want to be here if she was going to be here. Perhaps a failure on our club to bet the candidate. And I have to be honest with you, I am shocked to see a lot of our players go thrive somewhere else. When here, they just looked like they had two left shoes, or they swapped their boots in the dressing room, and they were stumbling upon themselves. And if you don't believe me, watch that San Diego game, and you tell me if those former Orlando Pride players were capable of doing that here while they were here. And I'm sad. I'm sad because we spoke about Orlando City representing our city, our fans, our ideals, our beliefs, our core values. Orlando Pride does the same thing. And I, for one, I refuse to see Orlando City reaching playoffs, getting better and better, and the Pride taking step backs, gigantic step backs. And it's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to the support. It's not fair to the people that spend their hard-earned money to go watch this team. And those guys are dwindling. And I know that the club is trying their hardest to create a winner, but we can't when situations like this happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate the situation going on with the Orlando Pride. I want to say, first of all, I don't know. I don't want to dive in on the reasons why Amanda Cromwell was placed administrator leave of Sam Green. Honestly, no one knows. And whoever says that they know, um, I don't know where they got it from. The club is not releasing any information, and I honestly, I don't judge them for that. That's something that they're handling internally. Yes, legend Seb Hines is taking over the team, and this Orlando Pride has a lot of potential, has a lot of phenomenal players in every single position. My hats off for Gani John's daughter, for Carrie Abello, for Courtney Peterson. I mean, I can name them all. I can name them all. I mean, Aaron McLeod. I mean, everyone. It's superb. Leah Pruitt. I mean, these are players. Michaela Clough, right? These are players that is their first, second time in the league. Obviously, Aaron McLeod is a gold medalist, but I mean, either way, they were brought in to work together as a team, win games, and they started doing that. They started actually showing strands of greatness and good football, in my opinion. So sad to have that news drop on us. Believe it or not. Again, I'm no one to um, say or know the situations, but now what can the Pride do, and what we was talking with Dave, right? When he talks about other players thriving when they leave Orlando and they leave Central Florida, I mean, I want to give my hats off too to Taylor Korniak. She just make the U.S. women's national team. Taylor Korniak, that was to me one of the most exciting players that this franchise had, a young, talented player. Unfortunately, obviously, she didn't stay with the team. She went to San Diego Wave, and she's thriving there. So now Alex Morgan, everybody knows Alex Morgan. I mean, she's our Christian Pulisic, and right, and for the United States. I mean, she's the top dog striker for the U.S. Women's National Team. So, I mean, nothing to say about Alex Morgan. I'm talking about Taylor Korniak on that note. Again, Orlando needs to. I'm sure they'll find a niche with Seth Hines. I think they're gonna get on the winning streak, hopefully soon. I wish him the best. We're gonna still be covering the Pride, and again, I think people, again, Orlando City fans, give the Pride a chance. I mean, um, you want to support, you want to be that team that is ride or die for the city. This is your chance. I mean, Orlando Pride stands for Orlando's values also, and we should definitely support them, just like people go support OCB. I think the club should make also efforts to also maybe season pass holders get a couple of tickets to go see the Pride. I mean, I think it would be a great idea. Because they will bring
They
other
already do
people,
that,
right?
Luis. They already do
So
that, and it's only 10% of about this. This is what I was told. Take it with a grain of salt. That about 10% of the people that get the email request the tickets. Most of them just give them away. So
yeah, I mean, we need to support. I mean, we have an important franchise. A lot of the players are phenomenal human beings. I can definitely vouch for that, and they're phenomenal players. And I would love to see them. And even the Black Swans, like they're. I mean, they. My hats off for them, because they go and they are there supporting and chanting and being loud. No matter if there's 10 people, 30 people, 3,000 people, 4,000 people. I mean, but yes, this is a team that's in rebuild, but a lot of the pieces that they've picked up, they're phenomenal. I mean, they're phenomenal players, and obviously, it's their first or second season in the MLS now, uh, and they're excelling in some games. But some games, when you have a rival that is obviously more well seasoned than you, I mean, you talk about U.S. Women's National Team caliber players like Gotham, like Houston, like North Carolina, like Washington. I mean, you're talking about Trinity Rodman. I mean, you're talking about, these are dynamic players. This is probably the core for what's next of the U.S. Women's National Team. This team right here, they're phenomenal players, but they're in the beginning stages of that journey, some of them. So you got to give them more time. You cannot expect like boom results right away. Now, they've surprised a lot of people. They've surprised a lot of people with some good resilience and winning mentality. That Amanda Cromwell also was part of that. So wish them the best. I can't wait to see them play. I know that they're going to be Orlando Pride is playing against the Portland Thorns on Sunday, June 19th. It's going to be on Paramount, more than likely. Again, the Thorns are a huge club for the NWSL. So nothing but all the best of luck to Orlando Pride, and very very excited of what that team has accomplished so far. So, Paula, you have anything to say?
No, no, I agree with everything that you said. We need to support more of the athletes, ladies. I said it last week with David. It's a different type of game as well. It's super interesting. You can hear the ladies talk in the field, and we need to support as well that we do for the boys. We need to support the ladies. So let's show them love as well.
Definitely, definitely. So, any last comments? Anything you want to say to close out the show, Dave?
yeah, apologize for my voice today, but I really wanted to be with you guys, so there it is. Um, let's go and support the boys this Saturday. Plenty of seats available. I expect to see you guys there. We got to support our boys in the good and the bad, and we cannot create faith once again if we don't do works. We have to feed it. We have to bulk it up. And again, I can be found at Florida_man76 on Twitter. You're more than welcome there to see all my madness. Uh, the legendary David on YouTube, where I have my vlogs of the games and all that stuff in Spanish and English. And lastly, Tiro de Esquina podcast, where Paul and I are going to be talking about the same things that we did here, but in Spanish. So thank you very much, guys, for all the support. Again, Luis, I say it, and Paola knows this too. The love that we get when we go to the stadium, people stopping us to say hello, shake our hands. I do appreciate it. It means the world to us because again, we don't make a dime out of this. We do it for the love of the club, love of the game, and without you guys, it's just three guys. Well, two guys and a girl talking to themselves.
That's right. That's right. Paola, last comment so we can close the show. Thank you so much.
Support the boys on Saturday, like David said. And nothing. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and keep supporting us.
All right. So I want to go ahead and my closing statements are going to be yes. Let's support the boys for sure. Coming up, these back-to-back games, Orlando has a huge chance to get 6 points for sure. Last comments here. Hopefully, Joshua tells us hopefully the game won't be delayed on Saturday. I hope Pride win the next game, says Joshua Tall. And Joshua Tall says, I wish we still had Alex Morgan and Taylor Korniak. So follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're under Latin Pride Orlando. If you're listening to this, follow us. There's a link in the description if you're listening to this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can see our social media. Follow us there. And then also I want to show people, this is our website. Check it out. Our editorials will be there. As well, I want to go ahead and announce, obviously, we have our Instagram account. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and get it. It's right there. It's Instagram.com. It's right here, LPO_podcast. We're really close to 900 followers. If people can start spreading the word. Again, you can see stuff from us, our shows, Pride, U.S. men's national team, women's national team, OCB, Orlando City, and also my Spanish content for if you are Peruvian American or you want to see what Peruvians think, how they watch soccer, Ladre el Fútbol right there. So we're growing. So I want to also announce I got back my Instagram. So if you want to add me, right now it's on private, but this is my Pineda_ORL is back. So you guys will be able to find me there. I will have pictures, probably not so much of Orlando stuff. You'll see me on a day-to-day. It's more like a casual account. There's nothing to, I mean, I'm going to have Orlando stuff for sure. Like, me at the booth or me, here or outside. But it's going to be my everyday things, that you check out. Usually a typical Instagram. So you can feel free to follow me there. And again, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as Loud and Proud Orlando. So I want to thank everybody that's been on today live. And if you're watching it again, drop us a comment. Follow us on social media, Twitter at LPO_podcast, Facebook, and also on YouTube. Click to the notification bell for notifications. So I guess, guys, vamos Orlando. We'll see you guys next week, Monday.
Vamos Orlando.
Vamos,
Let's
vamos. Let's
go.
go.